I'm recreating the best movies of every single year in LEGO, from 1990 all the way to present day 2023. This video, I'm going to be building 2007 all the way to 2023. But if you haven't seen part 1, you need to watch it before this video so you can see everything we've already built. But for now, let's go into our first year, 2007, which the best movie of that year was Transformers. So I built a micro-scale version of Optimus Prime, with one of his hands being a laser cannon, and he will protect the world from any dangerous threats, like Dave the Deer. Well, mostly. The next year, 2008, and I picked The Dark Knight. I bought this really cool Lego Batman minifigure and the Joker from The Dark Knight movie. I haven't seen The Dark Knight, so I don't know what actually happens in the movie. So I'm gonna build a sketchy alleyway where Batman can punch the Joker as many times as he wants. So I built up a Lego base plate, added a couple trash cans, a random bag, a rat, and a spider. Then I added the walls to the buildings on each side, and I added the Joker and Batman. And they can have a staring contest, and whoever loses gets punched by the other person. 2009 is the next year, and I would say the best movie of that year was Up. And LEGO just came out with the set of the house. It has the balloons on top, it has some cool minifigures like Carl and Russell, and the best figure of the set, Doug. Squirrel! He absolutely carries this set. This set would not be as cool without him.
Good afternoon. My name is Russell. Are you in need of any assistance today?
No.
And now the house is gonna fly away to Paradise Falls.
Squirrel!
The next year is 2010, and I would say the best movie of that year was Illumination's first movie, Despicable Me. I want to recreate the scene where Gru says he's gonna steal the moon.
Next, we are going to steal...
I built up a custom Lego Gru minifigure that looks okay, and I bought a couple Lego minions. I got Kevin, Stuart, and King Bob. Just don't change their eyes out for other eyes, and it's kind of cursed. I got all the figures, and I built the platform off camera. And I could put Gru on top, and all the minions down below. And this build is all finished.
We are going to steal...
2011 is the next year, and I picked the best movie to be Thor. I want to recreate the giant crater with Thor's hammer Mjolnir in the middle. So I got a bunch of tan Lego pieces, and a Thor minifigure, but I think I need some help, so I'm going to call in my hammer. Wow, that actually worked. Here's the crater with Thor's hammer in the middle, and Thor going to grab it, but when he tries to pick it up, he isn't worthy enough, because he got his powers taken away from him, and then he gets arrested. The next year is 2012, and the best movie of that year was The Avengers. And I want to recreate the most hilarious scene from that movie.
I am a god, and I will not be bullied by that. Puny god.
I got a Hulk figure and a Loki minifigure. I built a small little scene for the build, and I could put Hulk right here, and he can absolutely smash Loki.
Puny god.
2013 is the next year, and the best movie of that year was Frozen. And LEGO's already made an Anna and Elsa minifigure, as well as Olaf.
Hey, I'm Olaf and I like warm hugs!
And LEGO has also made a giant Lego Elsa's castle set. It is a very tall set. There's an entrance in the front, a piano, a frozen fountain, a staircase, a throne, and a comfy bed. Well, it actually includes real snow in this set. 2014 is the next year, and the best movie that year is the Lego Movie. You knew I had to include it. I want to recreate the funny scene where Emmett is in the real world, and he jumps around and falls off the table. So I got an Emmett minifigure with a very generic face, and he can bounce around trying to get off the table. The next year is 2015, and one of my favorite movies of all time came out this year, Jurassic World. I found a part of this old Lego Jurassic World set, the Indominus Rex's cage. I got literally the best minifigure of all time, Chris Pratt, but his name in the movie is Owen Grady. The Jurassic World plot is pretty simple. Dinosaur wants to escape out of his cage to eat everyone. Dinosaur escapes out of its cage wanting to eat everyone. Dinosaur eats everyone. Then Dinosaur gets eaten by bigger dinosaur that wants to eat everyone. And Chris Pratt's an absolute Chad. Before we keep going on with the video, I just want to tell you that we're at war with Ronald McDonald because we're trying to pass them in subscribers. So please consider subscribing. The next year is 2016, the best movie of that year was Captain America Civil War. And I want to recreate the awesome scene where Captain America and Iron Man are fighting. So I got an Iron Man and Captain America minifigure that are going to be soon beating up each other. I built up a little base plate, added 4 columns to one side, I added a little bit of snow for the outside, and I put a black border around the entire thing to make it look nice and fancy. I put Captain America with his shield on one side and Iron Man on the other, and I put a couple pieces on Iron Man to make it look like he's shooting at Captain America. And yeah, this build is all done. It's pretty simple, but it's pretty cool looking. Let's get this build out of here and go on to the next year, 2017, which this year the Lego Batman movie came out. And I'm gonna be honest, this is my favorite Lego movie. It took a little bit, but I built the Lego Batwing from the Lego Batman movie. And this Lego set is super cool. It's got a cockpit in the front where Batman can sit and Robin. It's got this little turret at the top, and if you spin it around, it spins the engines. The back of the Batwing can open, and this little mini go-kart can come out of it that Robin can ride around for fun. One thing that's really cool with this is if you face it upward, it's the shape of a bat. One thing I actually forgot about, but also in 2017, the Lego Ninjago movie came out, but it wasn't as cool as the Batman movie. Let's go on to 2018, and the best movie of that year was obviously Avengers Infinity War. But I do want to give an honorable mention to Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which I would have wanted to do, but Infinity War was the biggest movie of that year. And I want to recreate the scene where Thanos snaps. So I got a Thor minifigure and a Thanos figure with the Infinity Gauntlet and all the stones. And off camera, I built this scene out of Lego. Thor is jumping right at Thanos, trying to attack him, but he didn't go for the head.
You should have gone for the head.
And Thanos snapped. And that sadly made a bunch of people like Groot dust away. I took off one of Groot's arms and legs to make it look like he's dusting away. The next year is 2019, and the best movie of that year is obviously Avengers Endgame, the second part to Infinity War. And we're gonna recreate the scene where Iron Man snaps. So I need to take the Iron Man from the Civil War build and the Thanos from the Infinity War build. I got both the figures and modified them a little bit. I took off Iron Man's helmet and gave him his gauntlet, and I took away all the Infinity Stones from Thanos. And I dropped in the build. Here's the scene I'll build. It's really complicated and use a bunch of different pieces, but it looks pretty cool. I put Iron Man on one side and Thanos on the other side. And this build is all complete.
Inevitable. And I am Iron Man.
The next year was 2020, and there wasn't a bunch of great movies this year, for obvious reasons. But I picked the best movie to be Sonic the Hedgehog. I got a Lego Sonic minifigure that came in the set, but they don't have a Dr. Robotnik minifigure, so I built a custom one. And I got both the figures, and I want to build the scene where Sonic is surrounded by a bunch of Dr. Robotnik's egg drones. So after a little bit of building, the scene is finished. Sonic the Hedgehog is in the middle on what's supposed to be a really high building. All of Dr. Robotnik's egg drones are surrounding him. I also added the bag of rings he tries to find, and Dr. Robotnik can just be on the side. And yeah, this build's finished. So let's go on to the next year, 2021, which the best movie of that year was Spider-Man No Way Home. Lego released a Spider-Man No Way Home set a couple years ago, and it's alright. The minifigures in this set are pretty cool, but what is this thing? This isn't even in the movie. It's some weird bug creature thing. We could just throw this out. But at least they're coming out with a new No Way Home set that looks way better. It's just not out yet, and I don't want to wait for it. 2022 is the next year, and the best movie of that year was Top Gun Maverick. I'm gonna need to take Ethan Hunt's head from Mission Impossible, and I put his head on this body to be Pete, or Maverick. Or you could call him Tom Cruise if you want. Lego has no sets for this movie, so I built a custom fighter jet. This thing took me a long time to build. It's got a cockpit that opens, that you can put Maverick in. It is very detailed, with the jet engines, the wings. It has wheels on the bottom. You can take off the wheels on the bottom to put it in flight mode, and you can just make it fly around everywhere. It's super cool. And finally, the last year, 2023, I picked the best movie to be the Super Mario Bros. Movie, because that thing has been making so much money. And everyone knows what scene we're going to be recreating: Bowser singing Peaches.
Peaches, peaches, peaches.
And just to be clear, I'm filming this before I've seen Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. So for everyone that saw the movie and wanted me to build that, I'm sorry, I just haven't seen it yet. So I stole this mini Bowser from this Mario Lego set, and I'm going to use him and this custom-built Lego piano and a stool. But this build isn't finished yet because I built the floating platform that he is playing on. I put the piano and Bowser up top, and he can start playing his song all he wants. But we can take this micro build and turn it giant by using two Lego sets, the giant Lego Bowser and the giant piano. And now you have a giant version of him playing a giant piano. And that's the best movies of every single year. But maybe you like watching sports better than movies, so you should check out this video where I built every sport in Lego. How did I do it? You should check it out.